Sup YouTube, it's ZapdosTCG here and welcome back to our TCG video on my channel. On this channel you get daily Pokemon TCG uploads, so be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single upload. Today we're checking out an upcoming set in Japan that's going to be releasing on the 19th of July. That's going to be Stellar Miracle. There's going to be about 100 cards in here, and they come packed with Stellar cards which look very similar to the old school e-reader set crystal cards. So they come packed. They're a colorless type of Pokemon and they have a cool looking border around them, rainbowy like, and they need specific basic energies to do some crazy attacks here and there. So it's gonna be fantastic. These cards look really beautiful. I'm gonna be showcasing 4 of these Stellar cards in today's video. So if you want to be seeing more than this Terapagos EX, be sure to stick around, and if you like what you see, feel free to leave a like. It helps out the channel tremendously. And today we're going to be, of course, reviewing these cards, and also note down is that these cards will not be in the other set coming out on the 2nd of August, the Shrouded Fable. These are not going to be in that set, so don't worry about these for the World Championships over in Honolulu. Just chillax, and these are going to be cards that we're going to be getting after the World Championships. So, but they are very cool nonetheless, not only for collectors but also for players, because lots of stuff will, of course, change once again. But before we dive into these cards, be sure, of course, to check out our sponsors that make the videos possible. DragonShield.com for your sleeves, binders, and deck boxes. You can use the coupon ZapdosT5 for 5% off on everything on the website. YourPlaymat.com to create your own unique custom playmat. PotownStore.com for your TCG Live code card needs. You can get 5% off as well using the coupon ZapdosTCG. And CardMarket.com for European players, where you're able to buy as well as sell cards to people all across Europe. So with that being said, let's check out the first card up on the menu. It is going to be the Terapagos EX, and it is looking very cool. 230 HP, very great for a basic Pokemon, and it also is a colorless Pokemon. You will see that there's going to be a lot of cards interacting with colorless Pokemon, and the reason for that is that most of these Stellar Pokemon are colorless Pokemon. There's not a Stellar emblem on, or actually, a symbol on these cards, so you cannot like have cards search your deck for a Stellar Pokemon. That's not going to be possible. They're just Tera Pokemon, but they're colorless type, and they have some wacky attacks. We have the Unified Beatdown, 30 damage for each of your benched Pokemon. And you can also not use this attack on your first turn going second. So just note that down. If you're going second, you cannot start donking people, just get that DTE and just go crazy. That's not going to be possible. So you can't use this attack during your first turn going second. All the rest of the turns you can, of course, use it. You might think 30 damage for every of your bench Pokemon, that caps out at 150. Is that good? Probably not, but you're going to be seeing, we're going to be getting a Stadium card as well, which will, of course, resemble Skyfield back in the day, so you can have up to 8 bench Pokemon. That's going to be very fantastic for sure. So, yeah, I'm going to be checking out that Stadium card later, but let's check out his second attack. Crown Opal, 180 damage, and you need a Grass, a Water, and a Lightning Energy. You might think that is too crazy to think about, but there's also going to be a tool card reducing the energy requirement for Tera Pokemon by 1. And that's going to be any type that you can reduce by 1, which is going to be very powerful indeed. Unfortunately, it's going to be an ACE SPEC card. So searchable with Arvin and stuff, but more on those tool cards and stadiums later. Let's just finish off the Pokemon card review here. 180 damage during your opponent's next turn. Prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from basic non-colorless Pokemon. So only colorless Pokemon will be able to attack Terapagos EX, which is actually pretty interesting. So preventing all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from basic non-colorless Pokemon. That means every basic Pokemon, think about Miraidon EX, it's unfortunate, you're not going to be able to hit us. So that could be walling off a whole portion of the metagame. So I don't know if big basic decks will still be like going crazy. Also think about Raging Bolt EX not being able to touch you. So you can wall off a lot of archetypes with this card alone. How you can get this off is, of course, let's talk about the next card here, is the Sparkling Crystal. The attack cost of the Tera Pokemon this card is attached to is reduced by 1 of any type of energy. So this is going to be very interesting. So we can use this Sparkling Crystal to go crazy. So I'm actually just trying to make sure that the ruling is correct on this one. So the attack cost of the Tera Pokemon this card is attached to is reduced by 1 of any type of energy. So I think this means that you will be able to reduce any rainbowy kind of energy. I don't think it's going to be any type of energy. That's not what they mean. So I think this, if you equip this, you can get the second attack off with like a grass and a lightning, or you can get this off by a lightning and a water, something like that. I think this is going to be a cool way to start getting some crazy powerful attacks going with this sparkling crystal. It could also be that reduced by any type. So that this ruling still needs to be figured out, but I think it's going to be only reduction of one energy. Otherwise, it would be just too broken to be dealing with. So what else do we have is this stadium card, the Area 0 under depths. A very crazy mouthful. If a player has a Tera Pokemon in play, that player can have 8 bench Pokemon. Yo, when this card leaves play, or that player no longer has a Tera Pokemon in play, that player discards bench Pokemon until only 5 Pokemon on the bench remain. If both players discard, the owner of discards first. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So with that being said, you can have up to 8 bench Pokemon. There's a lot of basic Tera Pokemon out there. So you can have, like, let's say Wellspring Ogerpon EX, for example, and then you're playing something like Palkia V-Star, which typically was capped at 260, but now you can actually hit the magical 320 if the opponent has a full bench. And you have 8 Pokemon on your bench. The 320 number is possible with the subspace well of something like a Palkia V-Star. Also, Raikou V with that Lightning Rondo can also hit bigger numbers than ever before, because you can have bigger bench sizes because of this Area 0 under depth. This is going to be very, very cool, because not only does it intertwine with the attack of the unified beatdown of the Terapagos EX, you're going to be seeing so many archetypes playing this, because having a bench of 8 means bench hitters no longer take up too much bench space, if that makes sense. Like a Manaphy, a Lumineon, a Rotom, all that stuff. Like say, oh, I don't have enough bench space. Well, now you can enlarge your bench space with the Area 0 under depths. This is a very, very powerful stadium card that is going to be seeing play in multiple kinds of decks, just because like decks that already require on doing more damage for benches, like for example Palkia V-Star, Entei V, Raikou V, really going to be loving a card like this. And also it's going to be going hand in hand with Terapagos EX. Very cool that the stadium is not an ACE SPEC. That means you can have 4 of these cards in your deck. The problem is that the Sparkling Crystal is only a one-off. So, and also you can of course use the Lost Vacuum on a card like that to just put it in the Lost Zone, or just rely on the Jamming Tower to make sure that, yeah, this tool does no longer work. But we're going to be talking about some more Tera, I would say Stellar Pokemon. Stellar Pokemon are like Carlos type Tera Pokemon that have very awkward attack requirements. I could also note this is that you can get away with playing these basic Tera Pokemon or Stellar Pokemon in your deck if you're playing something like a Lost Box and Mirage Gate, because these are like different kind of energies, which is all the better for something like Mirage Gate to just go crazy and make sure you can get this attack off. So that's very insane indeed. The next card we're talking about is Crispin. Search your deck for up to 2 basic energy cards of different types. Reveal them to your opponent and put one of them in your hand. Attach the other energy to one of your Pokemon. So instant energy acceleration. Can search this out with Lumineon V. You can play a couple of Pokegears as well if you want to. You can even play Tatsugiri to search, to actually have a little bit of access to the support as well. Energy acceleration and getting the energy in hand. Not too bad in my opinion. You might think, have we gotten energy acceleration before? Yes, in cards like for example Melanie, in cards like for example Professor Sawdust Vitality, and typically having energy acceleration in a card requires you also to draw cards in order for it to be at least a little bit good. And that's not the case with this card. So I don't know, but it's universal energy acceleration, so it is definitely gonna be seeing play at one point. Bouffalant is actually kind of crazy. If you have another Bouffalant in play, all your basic Carlos Pokemon take 60 less damage from attacks done by your opponent's Pokemon. You can't apply more than one Curly Wall ability at a time. This is huge. 60 reduction. Can you think about a monstrous Blood Moon Ursaluna EX with 260 base HP already, and having this Curly Wall ability being active? That means the opponent will need to hit for 320 damage in order to knock out the Blood Moon Ursaluna EX. Imagine Blood Moon Ursaluna EX also coming packed with a Heroescape. you'll be looking at a monstrous Pokemon that you will need to hit 420 damage on in order to one-shot, which is impossible, so penny looping is definitely a thing. Very great ability for Cardless Pokemon. You can also make these Terapagos EXs a little bit more tanky with, of course, that effect. Bouffalant, very, very great defensive ability to just make sure your Cardless Pokemon survive a little bit longer. That means you need to hit 290 to knock this out, so you get in there, crazy category for sure. And you do need to fill up your bench because of the Area 0 under depths. You can have 8 bench Pokemon. This is your Tera Pokemon of choice, so yeah, I could see Mega Rayquaza being back, because if you have 8 bench Pokemon, you're actually slapping a whopping 240 for only 1 attachment, or 220 for 1 DTE, I would say. So that's going to be 8 bench Pokemon. That's 240 damage base, but with a DTE reduction, that's 220. Still great, so 220 is the number to knock out most basic EX Pokemon or V Pokemon. Even though V Pokemon will be not a lot around for too much longer. But yeah, this is great. Another core support Pokemon here is the Fan Rotom. Oh yeah, let's go. Fan Rotom. On your first turn, you may use this ability. Search your deck for 3 cardless Pokemon with 100 HP or less. Reveal them and put them into your hand. Then shuffle your deck. This is very great. You're going to be making a cardless deck with this. So pretty much you have this as your main attacker. You can use Fan Rotom to search your deck for 2 Bouffalant out of nowhere. Bam! Then suddenly you have very bulky 2-price Pokemon on your field that can slap easily damage. Then you could also search your deck for a couple of Hoot Hoot. Why do you want some Hoot Hoot? Well, because of Noctowl. Noctowl is gonna be very similar to Shady Dealings for archetypes like this. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, if you have any Tera Pokemon in play, Terapagos EX of course, you may search your deck for up to 2 trainer cards, reveal them and put them into your hand. This could also be very good for Charizard EX, for example, because Charizard is also a Tera Pokemon. So that could search out 2 trainer cards. It doesn't specify item card, it doesn't specify supporter or stadium. It's all the trainers all together. So you can get with this, as the translation currently is. You can get, let's say, supporter of the turn, a boss's orders, I would say like a rare candy, or 2 rare candy, and just get the stuff going. So very great Noctowl, but this Noctowl will also be used to, of course, get some cards from the deck for this Terapagos EX deck. So yeah, it is all lining up together here. This fantastic archetype will definitely be a thing. Will it be tier 1? Who knows? There's still a lot more cards to be revealed for the Stellar Miracle set, and I am very, very excited for it. Now, for a little bit of a sneak peek, because we already checked out the Terapagos EX, there are more. There are more of them leaked around. So the Terapagos EX was actually leaked a little bit earlier, let's see, a couple of weeks ago. So there are a couple more. So what do we have? We have Cinderace EX on the left top corner, Flare Strike 280. And you can actually, this actually is a stage 2, so you will need to evolve from your little Reboot or the Score Bunny first. Score Bunny, Candy, Cinderace, I guess it makes sense. You can also use that tool card and then DTE to slap 280, or actually it's going to be 260 for just 1 attachment, and then next turn you cannot use it, but very formidable damage, I would say. But the attack effects with the multi-rainbow energy requirements are where it's at. 180 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. That's the craziest thing ever. But I think if this tool card actually could mean that you can reduce every single type out there, then you could be getting away with using this for 0 energies. That would be the crazy part, right? I will need to see the ruling of this, because currently it's very, you can interpret it in 2 ways. So there's that. It is reduced by 1 of any type of energy. So I think if we're now making any sense, you can actually use this for 0 energies if you use this, right? The Sparkling Crystal. I think that's exactly what is going to be making these Tera Pokemon great, right? I think so, because, like, let's be honest, who's going to be putting like 3 manual energies on this fella? It's not going to be working out. I think you can use, this is going to be very powerful because it's going to be locking out the all the energies here. I think that's the ruling, right? Reduced by 1 of any type of energy, which means you can use this for 0 energies. I think so. I think that's going to be the thing. And that makes these Stellar Pokemon actually pretty unique to use. So what else do we have is Lapras EX. 40 damage for each energy attached to this Pokemon. Okay, with some Baxcalibur action, you can get away with something. And then the Larimar Rain. Yeah, look at the top 20 cards of your deck and attach any number of energy cards you find there to your Pokemon in any way you like. Look at the top 20 cards. What? Going second, putting that crystal on and doing that would be kind of hilarious. Okay, so that is Lapras. We already talked about Terapagos. Then there's Galvantula EX. That is actually a stage 1. So you need to evolve from your little Joltik from probably 30 or 40 HP. Let's see here. The thing here is that its first attack, 110 damage. If your opponent's active Pokemon is an EX, you are actually slapping 220 instead. Or an EX or a V Pokemon, which actually is the numbers to knock out basic Vs or basic EXs, which actually not bad. You can also... have its second attack, slapping 180 damage. Discard all energy from this Pokemon. During your opponent's next turn, they can't play any item cards from their hand. Yo. Item block is back, mates. During your opponent's, yeah, they cannot play any items, which actually works hand in hand with the Sparkling Crystal. Because if Sparkling Crystal allows you to use that attack for 0 energies, you will be able to item block the opponent and they will not be able to vacuum that away, which means this can become quite scary. I am very curious to hear about the ruling of Sparkling Crystal, but these cards look exciting. They look very bright. It reminds me back of the days of the Crystal Pokemon in the E series, so I couldn't be any happier because they look so stunning and they hopefully will see competitive play. Now I want to hear your opinion down below in the comments below. How do you feel about these Stellar Pokemon and yeah, the upcoming wave of cool new ultra rare Pokemon cards? Will they be rare or as rare as the Stellar or the Crystal Pokemon were in the E series, or will it be like just classic EXs? I'm very curious to see the rarity of these ones. But want to hear your opinion down below. If you enjoyed the video, let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. Helps out in many ways. And yeah, of course, I'll be yeah, explaining more cards as more of them will be revealed. I will see you tomorrow for more Pokemon TCG uploads. Go check out the sponsors that make the videos possible. And as always, have a fantastic rest of your day. And I'll see you then. See you tomorrow. Peace.